Inevitably, when you travel far enough and long enough, there's going to be a place or two or more that don't live up to the hype, or they just weren't what you were expecting. They weren't for you, and that's totally okay. So, on the flip side of three places that live rent free in my mind still after all these years, here are three places that didn't live up to the hype for me. And there was absolutely nothing wrong with them. They just weren't as exciting as I had hoped they would be. So, the first one, and please don't come after me, Italy didn't do it for me. There was absolutely nothing wrong with my trip to Italy. I enjoyed it. I'm more than happy to go back. I didn't get to see everything I wanted to see in Italy, and I look forward to going back and seeing more places, more of the north, more of the south, some of the islands, a lot of history that I just didn't have the time to do. That being said, I get why people like it, but I wasn't so taken with Italy that I'm like ready to uproot my life and move there and buy a €1 home and do the whole thing. I'm sorry for my Italy lovers. It wasn't for me. It's not my favorite place in Europe. There wasn't anything specifically that I didn't like about Italy. And I saw quite a bit of it for the days that I was there. I didn't just stay in Rome. I left Rome. I went to Florence. I went to Pisa. I went up towards San Marino. I did go to San Marino, which is not Italy, but I was up in that area as well. So I got to see, in my opinion, quite a bit of Italy for the time that I had there. I think I was there maybe a little over a week. I spent my birthday in Florence. It was wonderful, don't get me wrong, but it's just I guess I kept waiting for that moment that everyone seems to talk about where they fall in love with Italy. It didn't happen for me. I don't know if I wished it had or it hadn't. Um, Everyone kept trying to adamantly tell me the food in Italy is going to be the best Italian I've ever had. Again, I'm sorry, it wasn't. The best Italian I've ever had was not in Italy. It was Italy adjacent on all sides while I was in San Marino at the top of Mount Titano. But San Marino is not Italy; it's its own country. So I'm sorry for my Italy food lovers. I can't stop laughing. I feel so bad saying this because I really did enjoy my time in Italy. Everyone was so wonderful and welcoming and helpful, and there were definitely moments that I did enjoy. I very much enjoyed my time in Rome. There was a wonderful little corner restaurant I enjoyed getting brunch at. I loved just wandering the streets of Florence. There's a gelato shop in Florence that was to die for, in my opinion. I just absolutely loved it. I think I went there every day, and they probably thought that's all I ate. I enjoyed Pisa, even though there were quite a few, visitors there at the time, and I enjoyed some of the off the beaten path things I did as well. But at the end of the day, Italy didn't do it for me. It took me a long time to get to Italy, and yeah, it wasn't for me. So I'm so sorry. I still love Italy. It's just it didn't live up to the hype that everyone had led me to believe about it. So I'll stop with that one. Move on to my next place that didn't do it for me, and that was Argentina. Again, I'm so sorry. It wasn't for me. I I've been to Argentina twice now. I've been to Buenos Aires and Ushuaia, and there's just something about Argentina that it's not for me. There's not any one thing that was totally horrible that turned me off from Argentina. I just I didn't feel it. It wasn't my vibe. There's still plenty of places to see in Argentina that I would like to go back and see, and plenty to do. I'm sure I'll find myself there again. It's not top of my list. I think overall for me there were a few instances where I didn't feel particularly welcome. Language barrier was hard. I don't speak Spanish. I'm horrible at Spanish. I have tried. It's very hard for me to make the shapes of the words with my mouth and use my tongue in a different way than English and French. And so Spanish is hard. I have tried, thank goodness for translators on the phone, but there were still moments that were hard, that were really, they were quite frankly a turnoff. I haven't had that experience in other Spanish speaking countries. Buenos Aires as a city is huge, maybe overwhelmingly so. It also just may have been poor planning on my part to see Buenos Aires after going to Antarctica. If you've ever been to Antarctica, you know it's extraordinarily hard to come back to reality after that. And Buenos Aires was probably a bit of a slap in the face. So maybe that wasn't the best idea. And all that to be said, I absolutely love Ushuaia. It is, in my opinion, one of the most unique towns in the entire world. It's some of the most beautiful country I've ever seen anywhere in the world. The Patagonia Mountains are amazing. Tierra del Fuego is amazing. Beagle Channel, the history there. So it's not to so again, it's not to say that I don't like Argentina on the whole. It just didn't do it for me. I've heard so many wonderful things over the years about Buenos Aires and the architecture and the food, and maybe it's probably because I'm not a big food person. The meat, it was genuinely incredible. Some of the best meat I've ever had in the world, but I don't eat a lot of meat. Red meat doesn't sit well with my stomach, so that's difficult. So yeah, not just Buenos Aires, but Argentina wasn't unfortunately high on my list. I'm so sorry. I feel like all I'm gonna do is apologize in this video, but it just wasn't for me. It doesn't mean I won't go back. I'm just not high on my list of places to go back to. Again, I apologize for that. Moving on, the next place that I really, I think part of it left a bad taste in my mouth. It might have been bad timing. I am going back this year to a different place in the country, so I'm hoping my opinion is changed. I didn't like Spain. I know a lot of people love Spain. I don't think it had anything to do with the fact that I don't speak Spanish. I think it was partly because I was visiting Spain at the end of a 6-week trip and I was quite frankly burned out. It was extraordinarily hot in the city. The hostel situation was not great. That is a story for another day. I know I didn't handle that well because I really was at the end of my rope. And I was also just only in Barcelona for a couple days, which does not represent the entirety of Spain. I recognize that, so I'm excited to go back this year to a different portion of Spain and be with some friends who have Spanish roots and get to see something that's much more, in my opinion, going to be representative of Spain. So all that to say, I'm hoping that changes, but for me, Spain is somewhere that it's been it will have been 9 years since I was there last. Didn't have a huge desire to go back. I've always felt that I should go back because I really do think it just I think I just had a bad taste in my mouth from being in Barcelona. So I've avoided it, and especially with a lot of the backlash against tourists and visitors to Barcelona specifically in recent years, it's just really put a bad taste in my mouth, and I know that's not representative of all of Spain. So, yeah, just wasn't for me. I'm hoping, really, really hoping my opinion changes, and that I get a much more, I have more favorable memories of Spain come later this year, and I think that will be the case. It's going to be a completely different trip. It's a little bit different time of the year, and I will be with people that, again, who speak Spanish. They have Spanish roots, and I'm gonna have a lot of my dance family there as well. So it'll be a completely different thing. I'll be nearly 10 years older, and it will not be the tail end of a trip, which I think will help. If anything, I'm gonna be super excited for it because I will have spent a lot of time up north, freezing in the Arctic, and I'm looking forward to thawing out. So, all that to be said, Spain is the third place that it's on my list of it didn't live up to the hype that people had talked it up to be for me, and again, I'm hoping that changes. So, um, probably should preface this and said those are in no particular order. It's not like one comes to mind over the other. They're just three places that I they just didn't do it for me. If they're your favorite place, that's wonderful. I'm sure my favorite places are not yours. That's the beauty of travel. There's something out there for everybody, and it's wonderful to experience all of it, whether it's for you or not, and to have the opportunity to make your own decisions and your own opinions about this wonderful, beautiful world that we live in. It takes all different kinds of places and people and experiences to make it go round, and I'm grateful that I get to continue to build on that. And so I think I'll leave it there. Yeah, it's that's what those are my places. So that's all I've got. Um, thank you for being here. I love having just this little corner of the internet, and I look forward to the next one. Bye.